All right, I'm Matt.
Hi, I'm Kristen. Welcome to the Nightly on Hatch Plus, where the sleepy girl look has always been cool. Matt, you always embrace that sleepy girl look.
Thank you very much. That means a lot, actually, Kristen. Thank you. Yeah. What aspect of it particularly do you think?
I feel like you never look overly buttoned up. You always look like totally relaxed. Like we could be sitting on the sofa, watching TV. We could be going to the pub. I never feel like time with you is stiff or that the clothes are uncomfortable. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. I'm all about I'm built for comfort, not speed. I've got whatever's comfy. I bought a pair of slacks for the first time. I'd never... I didn't know what slacks were until they arrived. And I was like, oh, yeah, comfy.
Like, do they have a proper belt you have to wear with them and so on, and zero stretch?
Oh, no. See, maybe the word slacks has maybe been kind of forgotten and lost a little bit, because they're the opposite of that. They're sort of like brown trousers, but they're a bit looser fitting and there's an elastic waistband. So they look reasonably smart, but they're so comfortable. Okay.
I didn't know that's what slacks were. I always thought slacks were something you wore to the office to try to look smart. And so that didn't appeal to me, but I love the elastic waist.
They might be called slacks just to make the wearer feel a bit better about themselves. I think it basically elasticated jogging bottoms that are brown.
But they look smarter than joggers.
They do look smarter than joggers. Yeah, they're sort of a looser. They're more of a trouser material, but just loose. I like them. It's a slippery slope, though, isn't it? I don't want to get lost to the elastic waistband full time, but once or twice a week, sure.
I've maybe given up because I wear a lot of elastic waistbands. I have for the last few years, and I'm like, what was I doing before? What was up with these other things that had buttons and zippers, and why did I do that? It's so much more comfy just to have stretchy clothes that are kind of borderline pajamas.
It is true when you think about it like that. You do, like when you put jeans on after you've just been wearing sort of elastic waist stuff, you do think, why am I doing this? But, that's life, isn't it? How are you anyway, Kristen?
I'm doing all right. I've had some out-of-town visitors, which has been really fun. Been playing a little bit of tourist in my own town, which, I find personally it's so easy just to do the same things, go to the same restaurants, stick to my schedule, and then an out-of-towner comes and I'm like, oh, let me take you to this and this and this, and oh, there's this museum and this activity. And so it's fun because I almost feel like an out-of-towner makes me like my own town more just by playing tour guide to them.
Yes, I love that. It sort of makes you do the things that are right under your nose that you never get round to doing, doesn't it? And everyone I speak to, whenever I go to a different town or city and speak to locals and say, oh, what is there to do here? I'm here for the weekend. They always say like, oh, there's that place, but I've never been. So if it makes you do that sort of stuff, great. Yeah. What sort of things are we talking?
So I went to a museum I've never been to before, a Gilded Age mansion turned museum, and that was pretty fun. It's called the Frick Collection, the Henry Clay Frick House. And so, yeah, nice to see how the other half lives. People who have many thousands of square feet per person in a house, like the missus, her living quarters alone, her apartment within this mansion, her apartment's probably about 5 times the size of my entire apartment that my husband and I live in, because she has the boudoir, the sitting room, the bedroom. She has all these different rooms just for herself. I'm like, wow, must be nice. And then
that's too much space, I think, anyway. We're better off without.
Oh, you're right, because we have to actually wash our own floors and windows, and they didn't have to do that back then. Not those people.
Also, stuff like I lost my laptop earlier and was like, but it annoyed me, but it can only be in one room, essentially. So you think, well, it can only take X amount of time to find it. I don't need I don't want to have to check the boudoir. Anyway, what did you do after that?
So we did that. And I also saw a Broadway show, a show that just won the Tony for Best Musical, Maybe Happy Ending, which was amazing. a third of the way in, I started crying, and then I didn't stop crying for the rest of it. And it was really sweet and really funny and technologically dazzling and just full of heartfelt feelings. And that show is called Maybe Happy Ending. So did that, and that was really fun. And then signed up for a bird watching walk, which we're going to do later this week, and I'm excited to do that. Yeah. Oh, one other thing that I thought was really fun was we found out that there's a place just not even a mile from my house that's a whole spa in somebody's backyard where they have hot tubs, saunas, steam rooms, cold plunges, and it's just somebody's backyard and you pay to go there. So we did that too, which again, never would have thought to do if we didn't have visitors in town.
So you just, is there any sort of anything official about it? Or do you basically just knock on the door and say, can I jump in your hot tub?
It's official, or at least they make it look official. They have a sign and they have little flyers they give you. So I'm sure it's official, but it's also weird because it's just on a neighborhood street next to a bunch of other houses. And then you ring the doorbell and you go in and use the hot tubs and saunas.
That's so cool. Did you say you've already done that, or you're going to do it?
We did that just a couple days ago, and I'd never done it before. And again, I wouldn't have done it if we didn't have tourists in town.
Yeah. Like, did you cold plunge, or were you just in the hot tub?
I did. Have you done that before, Matt?
Yeah, I absolutely love it. I did actually try and get my own cold plunge for a bit. I bought an old whiskey barrel because it was such a good way to wake up, and it was perfect from maybe like November to April. It worked. But then when the weather warms up a little bit, it's got no refrigeration unit because it's just an old barrel. So in the summer, you're just... I was getting up and jumping in it, and you're very acutely aware that you're in your garden, your neighbours can see you, and you are just in a lukewarm barrel of water. And it's not doing anything. You're sort of staring into space. So I got rid of it. It's a planter now, which is a shame. How did you find it?
Oh, I have to ask you more about this barrel. So you just ordered a barrel, and then did you use a garden hose to fill it with water? How do you turn a barrel into a cold plunge pool?
Exactly that, yeah. So just got a hose pipe in it, filled it up, and in the winter it was amazing because you'd have to break the ice on the top to actually get into it, and that'd wake you up in the morning. It felt great, but then obviously the more the weather warms up, the more the water warms up, and then before you know it's just such a waste of time. And then like algae grows and all that sort of stuff, and you just think, no, this is a health hazard. I've got to get rid of this.
I love that you did that. I love that you made it yourself, because I get pushed ads all the time for cold plunge pools, and they're like thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars, but just get a barrel and fill it with a garden hose. That seems like the way to do it.
I mean, I wouldn't say I'm a great advert for it, because ultimately it didn't work. And I would have been way better off getting an actual one. And I do intend to at some point, but yeah, just it's sort of fallen off my radar a bit. Are you tempted to become a cold plunge person now?
I don't think so, because I don't have a garden and I don't know where I would put it. I guess I could take cold showers.
Yeah, you do cold shower. Yeah.
Which is not quite the same thing as a cold plunge, because a cold plunge, it's like, oh, I'm submerged up to my neck in this water. At least I was a couple days ago when we were in this backyard, and it was really immersive. And I don't feel like a shower is quite the same thing, but
I actually think the cold shower's harder, because rather than just jumping in and acclimatizing to the cold plunge with a shower, it's hitting you inconsistently at different parts, so you're constantly shocked. Whereas at least with a cold plunge, it's all over and immediately, and you get used to it. So I think there's probably still benefits to it, but yeah, that sounds great. Anyway, a little back garden cold plunge.
Yeah, it was really a fun thing to do, and again, I didn't even know about it until tourists came to visit and looked up fun things to do, and there it was. And apparently, it's been there for years, and I had no idea.
Oh, well, that's worth knowing anyway. That was well worth having friends over.
Oh, yeah. Oh, one other thing we did. Oh, my God, Matt. I thought of you. We sang karaoke, and we all took turns picking out songs. And I, of course, chose Wonderwall by Oasis, which ended up being probably the most popular song of the night. And
Of course.
I know you love your Oasis. And I picked it out partly because it's a fun song to sing at karaoke, but partly because I'd had this really intense dream with lead singer Liam Gallagher the night before. Can I tell you about this
Right.
dream?
I would absolutely love to hear about this dream.
Okay, so it starts at some sort of suburban mall parking lot. I'm with my mother-in-law, some other gals, maybe some aunties, and we were going to go into the shopping mall and eat at a giant mall restaurant. But I forgot something in the car, so I said, go ahead without me. But then I got lost in this giant suburban parking lot, and I think, oh, I'm going to climb that thing over there, this hill or whatever it is, and maybe get a better view of the parking lot so I can maybe see the car. And I climb up the hill, and who do I run into? Liam Gallagher. And then somehow Liam Gallagher and he's like, come with me instead, come this way. And somehow we enter some sort of cave entrance in this hill that we've been climbing together. And
Sure.
inside is kind of an indoor cave stadium where people are up to all sorts of obstacle courses and adventures. And I don't know how it happens, but I end up doing this obstacle course with Liam Gallagher really cheering me on and guiding me the whole time. He's helping me to do my best. And I'm like, oh my gosh, Liam, you are so helpful. You are just like the most supportive. I had no idea you were this nice. You know, I usually think of you and your brother just yelling at each other, but you've just been so great throughout all of this. He's like, oh yeah, reach for that thing next and climb over that thing next. He's totally giving me all the advice. And he's telling me fun stories about his own upbringing and different things he's done in life. And in the end, I write him a nice note telling him about how great he is and referencing some of the stories he told me. And he's like, let's take some pictures together. And we hug it out at the end. And I'm thinking, oh, Liam Gallagher, you just made this day so great. And I don't think I ever even made it to lunch with my mother-in-law. I just was like, Liam Gallagher, my new best friend. And that was pretty much the whole dream.
I mean, no disrespect to your mother-in-law, but if you're hanging out with Liam Gallagher, I feel like lunch you could probably wait. But what wholesome dream. I mean, slightly strange. Doing obstacle courses in a cave does sound a little bit like you and Liam Gallagher just joined Al Qaeda, but it's always a strange leap. But that sounds really nice. Did you wake up? Do you remember it all instantly?
Yeah, I woke up and I was like, that was great. And I forgot to mention that all of the other people inside of the cave watching me do this obstacle course with the help of Liam Gallagher, they were applauding so much. They were cheering like, yeah, go Kristen and Liam Gallagher. Yeah, you got this. And so I woke up and everyone had been cheering and Liam and I had been hugging. And it was just like, yeah, teamwork. Liam Gallagher and I are a team.
What a nice dream. Where do you think that came from? Had you been watching a load of the concert footage and stuff?
I don't know. I was going to ask you if you have any insights, because I feel like you know more about Oasis than I do. Like, does any of this touch on the reality of what you know about Liam Gallagher?
He's never struck me as the kind of guy who would be into an obstacle course outside a shopping mall. But
yeah,
I mean, you never know. This is your Liam Gallagher, isn't it? It's your dream Liam Gallagher. And he's a very active, kind man.
Apparently, but I always thought of him as kind of grouchy in real life, but he was so nice in my dream.
Yeah, I don't think you're far off. I reckon he'd enjoy a little afternoon out with you.
I hope that's true. I want to think of Liam Gallagher helping people in a cave do an obstacle course and then hugging and cheering with everybody. Seems like a nice idea of him.
Let's make it happen.
You are closer to him, Matt, than I am, both geographically and possibly by degrees of separation. So if you can just arrange this like an obstacle course day for us all to hang out, I think that'd be really fun.
I will, just for you, I will see what I can do. I'm going to make it happen. We'll get you on the monkey bars with Liam Gallagher.
I think it's got to be both of us. You're going to make it happen, but then you're also going to participate too. we'll have fun. Me and you and Liam Gallagher.
Deal. That sort of puts my week into a bit of perspective now. I've had a very quiet week. You've been hanging out with Liam Gallagher and, jumping into people's gardens and using their facilities. I feel I've done nothing of note this week, really.
What have you been doing?
I've just been working. I had 7 shows in 3 days, which is too many.
Oh my gosh, Matt, you need to sleep sometimes. You need to come into the Pillow Fort. 7 shows in 3 days. Oh my gosh, that's so much.
I know. The thing is, well, no one wants that. I don't want it. I'm convinced the audience don't want it. Who are we doing this for?
That's not true. That's not true. As our listeners in the Pillow Fort know, you are very entertaining and very funny. And I'm sure if they had their way, they'd be able to hear you do 20 shows in 3 days. But you gotta get your sleep too, Matt. I
do need to. I have been enjoying sleep though, because it's getting autumnal now, which I'm a huge fan of. I love this time of year, and I've just been enjoying it. I've got Halloween decorations. I've been getting pumpkin spice lattes, and I've got a real sort of TikTok girl.
Tell me about your Halloween decorations. I'm so curious about what you do to decorate for Halloween.
I go all out, and that's not normal. Like in this country, like Halloween's bigger than it was, but it's still not huge. Like it's not on Christmas levels, for example, but I can't get enough. I do love the season, and I love the decoration. So I've got a couple of ghost lights for the front garden, sort of outlines of ghosts.
Cute.
LEDs, they're very cute, little smiley faces on them. I've got some polystyrene gravestones, which are sat out the front, and a skeleton, it looks like it's crawling out of the ground. And I can't stress this enough.
Oh my gosh, you set up a whole dramatic scene.
It is. I've got a little graveyard.
It's not just sitting in his chair on your stoop. It's like crawling out of the ground. Oh, man, I love it.
The thing is as well, like, that makes me so identifiable. Like if you were to come to this country, I reckon you could figure out where I lived. All you got to do is just walk around enough, because nobody else does this. Like a whole street. I've seen neighbours. We've got a Ring doorbell, and I've been catching strays all week to see people walking past and looking at the garden going, what are they doing? What is that? And then a cat kicked over one of my gravestones, which I did catch on the Ring doorbell, and there will be repercussions.
Oh my gosh, the cat is like, not in my neighborhood. We don't do this here. Go back to America if you're going to do this stuff. Yeah.
Happily. I'll go to wherever has got the most pumpkins and skeletons and all that. I absolutely love it.
So are you going to make a jack-o'-lantern or 3 to put in front of your house as well?
Yes, 100%. Love doing that every year. The only thing, I love doing it so much that last year we actually did it probably about 2 weeks too early, and by the time Halloween actually came round, the pumpkins had sort of sunk in on themselves. So I've got to restrain myself this year and just wait a little bit so that the pumpkins stay structurally sound.
It sounds like those pumpkins embodied the spookiness of Halloween inadvertently, in that sort of melted face ghoul way.
You're actually bang on. They were scarier as a result. But I don't like scary Halloween. I don't really like horror movies. I just like the vibe. So it can be a scary thing, like a skeleton or a zombie or Dracula or Frankenstein, but it's got to have a little cheeky smile on it. It's got to be a little bit fun. Got it. You don't necessarily want the scary stuff. Just the cute aesthetics with it. Just the cute aesthetic. Yeah, that's what I'm all about for Halloween. I don't know about you talking about all that. I'm getting pretty sleepy, Kristen, so I think it's about time to turn in and think about all my decorations. Yeah, I'm going to think about decorations and maybe do some Liam Gallagher 2.0, maybe a Halloween adventure with him, and I'll invite you into my dream too, Matt. Yes, please do. And in case I'm not there, do give Liam my regards. And I will talk to you next time, Kristen. Good night, Matt. Sweet dreams. Night.